Hello student, welcome to Anu's classes. Let's start today's video with one of the important topic, that is circulatory system. In our previous video, I have discussed about the different types of blood groups, what is blood, the component of blood. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss circulatory system. So first come to what is the main function of circulatory system? To provide essential nutrients, minerals, respiratory gases, means oxygen and carbon dioxide, and hormones to various parts of the body. It means this system distribute the different essential nutrients, different gases which are essential for the survival of body, suppose oxygen, carbon dioxide, and different hormones which are required for the growth and survival of the cells, that all materials are distributed to the different organ by this circulatory system. Next function is that it also responsible for collect the metabolic wastes and toxins from the cells and tissue to be purified or expelled from the body. It means at the same time it collect the toxins and the different waste material which are produced by the different cells or organs and carry that materials to the organ where it is purified or expelled from the body. So, in short, we can say that circulatory system is the system which distributed the different essential nutrients and gases to the different body part, and at the same time it collect the waste material and the toxins from different cells and carry to the tissue where it is purified or expelled from the body. Now come to the types of circulatory system. So circulatory system is mainly of two types. First one is called open type, second one is called closed type. So now come to the definition. So open means what? The blood flows freely through the cavities since no vessel to conduct the blood. It means in this process the blood flow within the body with the help of a cavity. No specific vessel is present for the conduction of the blood. And this is closed. Closed means this system has vessels that conduct the blood throughout the body. Means here the blood is conducted with the help of some specific vessel. So look, this is the diagram. So this is the heart, this is open type. Open type means, look, these are the cells. These green are the cells. So there is no specific blood vessels for conduction of the blood. Just this is a cavity. With the help of cavity the blood is conducted. And where this is the closed type, and look, these are the specific vessels. Means in this type its system has been specific vessels which carry blood to different specific organ. It means in open, blood flow with the help of cavity, whereas in closed type blood is conducted or flow. Now I am going to discuss about closed circulatory system. The main parts of the closed circulatory systems are heart, blood vessels and lymph. In my previous video I have discussed about blood, so today I am going to discuss about heart and mainly blood vessels. As closed circulatory system is found in vertebrates, so come to the vertebrate heart. Vertebrate has three types of heart. Some has two-chambered, some has three-chambered, and some has four-chambered heart. So first come to the two-chambered heart. So among the fish, their heart is two-chambered. They has one atrium and one ventricle, and their circulation is called single circulation. Then come to the three-chambered heart. In reptiles and amphibians, three-chambered heart is found, and they has two atrium and one ventricle, and their circulation is known as incomplete double circulation. And among the amphibian and reptile except crocodile, other has three-chambered heart, since crocodile has a four-chambered heart. So this is important question may come, who is reptile has four-chambered heart? Then you have to write it is crocodile. Then come to the four-chambered heart. Avians means the birds and the mammalians have means four-chambered heart, and they have two atrium, two ventricle, and their circulation is known as double circulation. So now I am going to discuss about this double circulation and four-chambered heart. Means I am going to discuss about the human heart. Human circulatory system, that is human heart. So human heart is what? Human heart is the first point you have to remember. It is a muscular organ, and where it is located? It is located in the chest cavity and right between the lungs. Means it situated just between the lungs and slightly towards the left in the thoracic region. And the human heart is covered by three covering. An outer covering is called epicardium. Middle layer is called myocardium, and the inner layer is called endocardium. The epicardium is made up of squamous epithelium. whereas myocardium is made up of cardiac muscle and the endocardium is again made up of squamous epithelium. So this point you have to remember. Question may come, how epicardium is made up of, then you have to write squamous epithelium, endocardium also squamous epithelium, only myocardium are made up of cardiac muscle. Now come to the structure of human heart. As you all know that the size of a human heart is the size of our fist. And as it is a four-chambered, so it has two atria and two ventricles. The upper two chamber is called atria and the lower two chamber are called ventricle. So this is the diagram of human heart. So these two are upper chamber. These two are known as, this is right atrium, this is left atrium. And this is the lower two chamber. This is called right ventricle and this is called left ventricle. Next point, the interatrial septum separates right and left atrium, whereas the interventricular septum separates the ventricle. It means this is one right atrium and this is left atrium. These two atrium are separated by a membrane which is known as interatrial septum. You have to remember this term, so I am underlining this line. Next, these are two ventricle, right ventricle and left ventricle, and this is the separating wall which is known as interventricular septum. So this term also you have to remember. Now come to the next point. The right atria and the right ventricle is equal to tricuspid valve. It means this is the right atria and this is right ventricle. So blood flow from right atrium to right ventricle we through a valve. This is the opening. This opening is called valve and this is known as tricuspid valve. This is tricuspid valve. Look, this is, I am writing here tricuspid valve and this is atrioventricular valve. Another name is atrioventricular valve and which is known as tricuspid. Why it is called tricuspid? Since here three cup-shaped structure in the valve, that's why it is called tricuspid. Tri means three, cuspid means cup-shaped structure. And then you always remember that in heart the blood flow is always unidirectional, means blood can always flow in one direction only, means it is a one-way direction only. Next, the left atria and the left ventricle is equal to bicuspid valve or mitral valve. It means this is left atria and left ventricle. There are also one valve or opening, means from the left atrium valve blood come to the left ventricle through a valve which is known as bicuspid, means here only two cup-shaped structure is there, that's why it is called bicuspid, or another name is called this is mitral valve. So you have to remember bicuspid or mitral, don't confuse, any term may come in your question paper. Next, opening of the right ventricle to pulmonary artery is called semilunar valve and the opening of the left ventricle to the aorta is also called seminular valve. It means, look in the diagram. So this is right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the impure blood enter into the pulmonary artery through which it go to the lungs for purify. And in between, in this junction, there is a valve and that valve is called seminular valve. In the same way, this is left ventricle. From the left ventricle, the pure blood will enter into a vein that is called aorta. And there is also present a valve which is known as also semilunar valve. Means these two valve is known as semilunar valve. Means in the heart there are total 4 number of valve. This first one means from right atrium to right ventricle, where impure blood flow, that is called tricuspid valve. From left atrium to left ventricle, means where pure blood flow, there is has a bicuspid valve, and from right ventricle to pulmonary artery, there is called semilunar valve, and from the left ventricle to aorta, there is also semilunar valve. Means out of these 4 valves, one is named as tricuspid, one is named as bicuspid, and other 2 named as semilunar valve. So in total in heart there are total 4 number of valve. So in this diagram of heart, the blue part indicating the impure blood and the red part indicating the pure blood. So in a human heart, means in human circulatory system, from the upper body, the impure blood are enter into the right atrium with the help of a large vein which is known as superior vena cava. And from the lower portion of our body, the impure blood is enter into the right atrium with the help of a inferior vena cava. So upper one is superior vena cava and from lower part with the help of inferior vena cava. Then from the right atrium, this impure blood through the tricuspid valve enter into the ventricle. And from the ventricle, through the semilunar valve, it enter into the pulmonary artery and it release the impure blood into the lungs, where the blood is purified, and then after purifying the pure blood, means the oxygen rich blood, with the help of this pulmonary vein enter into the left atrium. Then from the left atrium, this pure blood with the help of bicuspid valve, it come into the left ventricle, and from left ventricle through the semilunar valve, it again enter into a large vein which is known as aorta, and from the aorta this pure blood is distributed to the different body part. And in this diagram, you always remember that in human body, the pure means oxygen rich blood are always carried by artery. Only pulmonary artery is the one artery which carry the impure blood. Means all artery carry the pure blood. Only pulmonary artery carry the impure blood. Like same way, all vein carry the impure blood. This is superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. These are vein. Only one vein is there which is known as aorta, which carry the pure blood. Means vein means impure blood except aorta, and artery means pure blood except pulmonary artery. So don't make confuse among them. Pulmonary artery means impure blood, other artery means pure blood, whereas vein means impure blood. Only aorta is it's single vein which carry the pure blood. And always remember, in the heart, blood flow is always unidirectional. It means from right atrium to blood can flow to right ventricle, but it cannot move from right ventricle to right atrium, because this valve cannot allow to backflow of the blood. Same way, from the left atrium to blood can flow to the left ventricle. It cannot flow back this side. And again, from left ventricle to it can enter into the pulmonary artery. But from pulmonary artery, blood never can enter again into the left ventricle. Same thing is happen in the case of aorta and left ventricle also. So this is as a whole the blood circulation process in the human heart. Now come to the next point, that is the nodal tissue present on the upper right corner of right atrium is called sinoatrial node, means SA node, and present on the lower left corner of the right atria is called atrioventricular node, means AVN. AVN divide into right and left bundle at the interventricular septum and branches into minute fiber that are present throughout the ventricle and are called Purkinje fiber. And this is last point is bundle of His. Purkinje fiber along with the AV bundle from the bundle of His, and it regulates the heartbeat. Now come to the diagram. So in this diagram, this dark portion means this is the upper side of the right atrium where it is known as SA node, and this is the left side of the right atrium, lower left side of right atrium, it is known as AVN, atrioventricular node. This atrioventricular node in this interventricular septum, look, this is enter into here and divided into two parts. One is called right and another is called left, and these are together known as bundle of His. This is bundle of His, and the main function of this bundle of His is to regulate the heartbeat. Then this bundle of His come, and in the ventricle wall it is divided into minute fiber like structure. Look, these are minute fiber like structure which are known as Purkinje fiber. So now come to this diagram. So SA node, AV node, bundle of His and Purkinje fiber. So bundle of His are present where? At the interventricular septum. So if question come where the bundle of His is present, you have to write interventricular septum. Where Purkinje fibers are present, you have to write wall of the ventricle. Now come to the diagram. Here I am just showing this node, and this means bundle of His. So this is SA node. So this is SA node, and this is AV node, AVN. This is AV node. So AV node enter into the interventricular septum where it is divided into two parts. One is called left bundle of His, another is altogether they are known as bundle of His, and one part is called left bundle branch, another is called right bundle branch. And then in the ventricle wall, they are divided into minute fiber like structure, which is known as Purkinje fiber. So Purkinje fibers are present in the wall of the ventricle, whereas the bundle of his are present in the interventricular septum. And SA node and AV node both are present in the right atrium. One is present in the upper part of the right atrium, another is present on the left side of the lower part of the right atrium. Another important point you have to remember, the location of SA node and AV node. The SA node are present at the junction of sinus and atrium, whereas the AV node is present at the junction of atrium and ventricle. The SA node is the largest nodal tissue and it is known as the pacemaker of heart. Why it is known as like that, means why it is called pacemaker of heart, in my next video I will explain. Thank you.